The Belgian F-16 radar lock. When military jets chased the impossible Belgian fighter, jets achieved radar lock on an object performing maneuvers that would destroy any known aircraft and end any human pilot. Late on the night of March 30, 1990, two Belgian Air Force F-16 fighter jets screamed through the darkness over Belgian airspace. Their mission: intercept an unidentified object that ground control radar stations have been tracking for hours. What happens in the next minutes becomes the most technically documented military encounter with an unidentified aerial phenomenon in European history. The Belgian UFO wave has been building for months. Across the country, thousands of citizens report triangular craft moving silently over towns and countryside. The reports are consistent, detailed, credible. But reports are one thing. What happens tonight is something else entirely. Tonight, the Belgian Air Force gets hard data. Tonight, instruments record what no pilot testimony alone could establish. Tonight, a sitting Major General will eventually stand before cameras and present radar evidence of something that should not exist. The F-16s close on their target. Onboard radar systems acquire the object. Lock achieved. The pilots have it. For a moment, the engagement proceeds according to protocol. Then the object moves. What happens next is recorded simultaneously on three separate radar systems: the two ground control stations and the F-16's onboard radar. The object descends from 10,000 feet to 500 feet. The time required, approximately 1 second. Simultaneously, it accelerates from 280 kilometers per hour to 1,800 kilometers per hour. Then, impossibly, it decelerates to near hover speed. The pilots watch their instruments. The numbers are there, recorded in real time. Descent rate, speed change, altitude markers ticking down faster than any aircraft they have ever encountered. The G-force required for such a maneuver is calculated later by analysts reviewing the tapes. Approximately 40 Gs, 40 Gs would end any human pilot instantly. The gravitational force would compress internal organs, collapse blood vessels, render consciousness impossible before structural death occurred. 40 Gs would tear apart any known aircraft frame. Metal stress tolerances, hydraulic systems, wing structures, all would fail catastrophically under such force. Yet the object on their radar performs this maneuver and continues flying. The pilots attempt to maintain lock. The object breaks it. They acquire lock again. The object responds, performing another maneuver that defeats their tracking. 3 times during the engagement, the F-16s achieve radar lock. 3 times, the object appears aware of the lock and performs a maneuver that breaks it. The correlation is precise, documented, repeatable in the radar data. Lock achieved, object maneuvers, lock broken. The pattern suggests awareness. The pattern suggests response. The pattern suggests technology monitoring the F-16's radar emissions and reacting in real time. The ground radar stations corroborate everything. 2 independent installations, different locations, different equipment, tracking the same object simultaneously. The convergence of data eliminates instrument malfunction as explanation. When 3 separate radar systems record identical performance characteristics, the instruments are working. What they are recording is the question no conventional analysis can answer. Major General Wilfried de Brouwer, Chief of Staff of the Belgian Air Force, reviews the radar tapes in the days following the engagement. He knows what he is seeing, he knows what it means, and in a decision unprecedented for a European military official, he decides the public will see it too. De Brouwer schedules a press conference. He brings the radar tapes. When he stands before the assembled journalists and presents the F-16 radar data, he is not offering speculation. He is not deflecting questions. He is showing instrument recordings and stating facts. The object performed maneuvers beyond the capability of any known aircraft. The descent rate, the acceleration, the apparent awareness of radar lock, all are documented in the tapes he presents. This is what Belgian Air Force jets encountered. This is what the radar systems recorded. This is what remains unexplained. The press conference becomes historic. For the first time in European UAP investigation history, a national military official presents actual instrument data rather than relying solely on witness testimony. De Brouwer's presentation includes the radar tapes, the performance parameters, the calculations showing forces no human pilot could survive and no known aircraft could withstand. He presents it not as mystery for entertainment, but as documented reality requiring acknowledgement. The Société Belge d'études des phénomènes spatiaux, known as SOBPS, has been investigating the Belgian wave since reports began months earlier. The organization receives cooperation from the Belgian Air Force that is unique in European UAP investigation history. Data sharing, witness access, official coordination, the relationship between civilian investigators and military authorities in Belgium during this period represents what transparent investigation can look like when institutions choose documentation over denial. SOBPS researchers review the F-16 engagement data. They interview the pilots. They analyze the radar tapes De Brouwer has made available. The performance characteristics remain inexplicable. Aviation engineers from European aerospace firms examine the recordings. None identify conventional explanations for what the instruments captured. The danger the engagement represents extends beyond the immediate strangeness. The Belgian Air Force dispatched 2 of its frontline interceptors to engage an object in Belgian airspace. Those interceptors, equipped with advanced radar and weapon systems, proved completely incapable of maintaining tracking on a target that appeared aware of their presence and superior in every performance metric. An adversary aircraft capable of the documented maneuvers would be immune to any air defense Belgium could mount. Faster acceleration, sharper maneuvering, apparent awareness of radar lock with the capability to defeat it. These characteristics define complete aerial superiority. De Brouwer's willingness to acknowledge this reality publicly, to admit that Belgian jets encountered something they could not identify and could not match, breaks decades of military institutional reluctance to confirm such incidents. The object escapes all tracking during the engagement. The F-16s lose contact. Ground radar loses contact. Whatever moved through Belgian airspace that night departs without leaving physical evidence, without leaving anything except the radar recordings and the unavoidable questions they generate. The Belgian wave sightings decrease after the spring of 1990. The sustained period of concentrated sightings that characterized the winter and early spring diminishes. Reports continue, but the intensity fades. The F-16 engagement remains the technical pinnacle of the entire wave, the moment when instruments captured what thousands of witnesses had been reporting. The radar tapes become the primary physical documentation. Not photographs that can be questioned, not witness testimony that can be doubted, but instrument data recorded by military-grade radar systems operated by trained personnel. The tapes show descent rates, acceleration curves, altitude changes. The numbers are there, preserved, available for analysis by anyone with the technical expertise to understand what they represent. Major General De Brouwer, after retiring from the Belgian Air Force, continues to give public testimony about the engagement. In interviews, presentations, and documentary appearances, he describes the performance characteristics documented that night as definitively beyond any technology he was aware of in 1990. His testimony carries weight precisely because of what he does not claim. He does not speculate about origin. He does not offer theories about intention. He presents the data and acknowledges its implications. Belgian Air Force jets encountered something performing maneuvers no known aircraft could perform. The Belgian F-16 engagement stands alone in European UAP history for the combination it represents. Official acknowledgement, instrument data presentation, and documented performance characteristics that remain unexplained decades later. Other nations have had military encounters with unidentified objects. Other air forces have scrambled jets to intercept unknowns, but no other European military has produced a chief of staff willing to present radar tapes at a public press conference and state clearly that the object performed maneuvers beyond known aircraft capability. De Brouwer's framing establishes a model. This is what we know, we cannot explain it, here is the data. No deflection to weather balloons, no dismissal as misidentification. Documented reality presented for public examination. The radar tapes remain available for analysis. The performance parameters remain unexplained. And over Belgian airspace on the night of March 30, 1990, instruments recorded something that should not have been possible, something that moved with awareness, responded to tracking, and demonstrated capabilities that no known technology could match. If you found this case compelling, subscribe to Vanishing Roads for more documented paranormal investigations from around the world. This story was created with AI assistance based on documented case files. All events reference real investigations and reported incidents.